has had trouble with campaign signs before, but this one was caught on tape from this surveillance camera. The trial began Monday and was expected to last through the rest of the week, but Humble's lawyer says prosecutors approached him with a plea deal last night, and he accepted. Heather and Rudy, the fear of flooding is causing people to still come, even at this late hour, to pick up sandbags. Now, as you can see, there's nobody here right now. A lady just drove off and had her truck filled up with sandbags. Let me show you exactly how powerful this storm was. It cracked this tree in two and then fell on this trailer. The first one cuts 8% of teachers, and the second one does as well. A Ouachita Parish inmate is still on the run this morning after stealing a car and escaping work detail. That's our first story. Here he is, 32-year-old Ronald Lazare. A convicted killer in Mississippi is denied a DNA test and is set for execution today. Willie Jerome Manning has been on death row for nearly 2 decades. Breaking this morning, Ouachita Parish Sheriff's deputies are investigating an early morning shooting that sends one woman to the hospital. Okay, we've got to work on our faces.
Yeah, let's see y'all's faces.
Joining us, Lindsay Vincent of the Idea Place, and I wish we had smell-o-vision because it smells so good. We're actually cooking some Ivory soap right now, microwaving it.
We are. ABC10's Shernay Williams went there today. Spoke with a man who says the storms ripped off the roof of his house.
And it got quiet, and I told my wife, I said, there's something going to happen around here.
9:30 Tuesday night, Chuck Calvert and his wife Lowen are in the living room of their home in Goodwill, West Carroll Parish. Storm conditions take a nosedive. Calvert says he was watching news coverage of the storm when tornado warnings popped up just 10 miles from his house. He and his wife take cover in the bathroom.
I grabbed the door to shut it, and I put my shoulder against it.
And then he says what feels like a tornado whips through.
About 10 seconds, it was gone.
And in 10 seconds, 39 years worth of memories.
I happened to look up, I had a light shine up, and I said, we don't have a roof on the house. And she said, no, you got to be kidding.
In shambles. Sheriff Jerry Philly says Calvert's home was hit the hardest in the parish, but we find several flooded yards along with other damage in the area. And this is what we found in the yard of a home off of Highway 585. This is a camper trailer, and the owner of the house says she believes a tornado picked up the trailer and slammed it into the yard. And as you can see, remnants of the trailer extend for several feet. And if you look up above, the roof of a shed still swaying in the wind. Back at Calvert's, friends help sift through what's left of his home. Now just a topless shell and scattered debris. So what now?
I don't know. We'll just take one day at a time.
But one thing is for certain, the Calverts feel fortunate.
If we hadn't been watching TV, we'd have got blown away.
His advice? If you hear a tornado warning, don't wait to take cover. Shernay Williams, NBC 10 News. When Richwood's new mayor, Alvin Jackson, took office in July, he brought a familiar face with him. He hired ex-mayor Ed Harris, who was convicted in 2010 of snagging thousands of dollars of Richwood money for himself and friends. Now, with the release of a bad audit, some are questioning the town's financial decisions. A new audit report reveals lingering financial issues in Richwood, from bad bookkeeping to uncollected property taxes.
We have a lot of indebtedness that's been occurred in the past. The new Mayor Jackson, we are trying to work and try to eliminate all that.
Auditors suggest the town rehire a CPA firm for help, but Mayor Pro Tem Weisinger Cleveland says
at this point the town cannot afford it.
Yet in July, the town hired ex-mayor Ed Harris as an economic development officer. He was convicted in 2010 of malfeasance in office after writing checks in the thousands for himself and friends. We found Ed Harris at work.
But not today. Today is not a good day.
He didn't want to speak on camera, but on the way out, he asked, don't I have a right to work?
Yes, he should have a right to work somewhere else, not for the town, because he was charged with that crime, and he should pay it.
I don't have a problem with him working, you understand me, because maybe he can make things move a little bit further.
Mayor Alvin Jackson wasn't in the town hall when we arrived, but over the phone he says that Harris is an asset to the town, and there's no law against hiring him. Cleveland supports Harris's hiring.
We all get second chances. Ed Harris is one of the greatest mayors Richwood ever had.
Some residents say if Harris would pay the $65,000 in restitution to the town, maybe it would be better off.
It could be a better town, but we need the money. Because they always saying that, we low in budget, the audit and all that there, so we really need the money.
Mayor Jackson says Harris made his first restitution payment to the town this month, but he isn't sure how much was paid. Jackson was also tight-lipped about the audit. He says he doesn't want to comment on something he hasn't read yet. Shernay Williams, NBC 10 News.
If he was okay somewhere, he would have been there for me. You know, he would have been there to see his daughter.
Joshua Berry's wife, Jessica, can't imagine him just running out on the family. The 35-year-old has been missing since September 13th. The holidays gone, and the birth of his third daughter in the past.
I just feel like that this case is not really being investigated the way it could be.
Berry's dad, John, says investigators aren't taking his son's missing persons case seriously because he was a meth user.
If I was a prominent citizen, you know, I believe that this investigation would have the FBI.
Now the eldest Berry says he's found potential evidence investigators overlooked. Dirty shirts and even dark stains on Berry's truck. The same truck investigators searched after it turned up in Franklin Parish after Josh went missing.
It could be mud, it could be blood. I don't know, but my question is, was the truck sent somewhere to be tested?
Just Monday, the family gave police a pair of shorts they found with dark stains on them. John Berry says his son has left home before for 9 months to escape legal trouble, but he always called. Now, with no sign of Josh, his wife struggles to explain to their young daughters, age 6 and 8, where their father is.
I just tell them that he's lost, and wherever he is, that he's missing them and thinking about them, and he's just trying to find his way home.
Words she hopes she won't have to come up with to tell baby Josh Lynn about her dad. At the Ouachita Parish Animal Shelter, Director Hack Toll wants to make one of his temporary kennel workers full-time.
We haven't had any trouble out of him. He doesn't miss work, he hasn't called in sick.
But there's one problem. The employee, who Toll isn't naming, has a felony offense for a DUI.
I think he's proven he's worthy of a second chance with benefits.
Ouachita Parish's personnel book says no to employees with felonies.
It's crazy how you go, you do your dance to society, and you can't get a second chance.
If they have a rule in place, then the rule needs to hold true. So, you know, you can't make an exception now.
We took a look at Ouachita Parish's policy. It says any employee convicted of a felony offense, whether by pleas or trial and verdict, shall be dismissed. Now, that only applies to current employees, not potential hirees, leaving somewhat of a loophole. But police jurors say it's understood that the parish doesn't hire felons. Police juror Ola Beth Reddick says the rule has been on the books for about 20 years.
When it comes to rules and policies, they need to be updated with the time.
She says the rule should include provisions allowing some felons who have proven themselves.
You know, the Bible says, do unto others you have them want them to do unto you. I mean, you're going to hold a scarlet letter over their life, but you want the Lord and everybody else to forgive you.
Dr. Woods Watson with First West Baptist Church in West Monroe helps offenders transition into the workplace. But for the public sector,
case-by-case basis probably is the right way to go right now instead of just changing the policy.
The animal shelter director agrees.
It's an 85%, they'll do it again. And that's hard for an employer to look at, you know, and say, well, is he going to be one of the 15% that won't? And that's why I think they need a trial period before.
And he says his employee has proven his worth.